iHipHopTV.com on YouTube. Shit is fire. Check out iHipHopTV.com on YouTube.
Eradicate the homeless, 36 months, veterans first. And thank you guys again for coming on with Daryl and Jarrett and Peace Doc with iHipHop TV. It's been a great honor. And so we'd like to get with you, Seven, real quick. Thank you for coming on our show with Peace Doc and everybody, and contributing to what you do for us, and get to watch you guys and inspire us with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, and let everybody know again, what you just said, Seven, before you roll out. Okay. Give them all your information, information for your orgs and everything.
Okay, I'm from Cleveland, from the land, and I work with youth. My job is I work in a lock unit, and you have kids that don't have families. They have issues growing up, either parents on drugs or, they don't have a mom or dad, and I have some sad stories. So in my way of trying to help them get back on track, give them some life experiences, give them some hope, and, through basketball, through coaching, I teach basketball life skills, and I also teach about how basketball can help your life, but it can take you on a roller coaster. It can deal with a lot of things in life that if you're going to make it, you have to be strong enough and prayerful and realize that, bad things don't happen all the time, but they do happen, and that's part of life, and we have to accept it. And, with Daryl and eradicating for the homeless and stuff like that, I think that is a great tool. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'll give every one of you my number is 216-269-7094. Please feel free to call me so we can talk. And next time we do this a little bit earlier. So then I'll have time to really, really get deep into it with you guys. We also have one of my teammates from Atlanta, Georgia, named Tyrone Hollywood Brown. He couldn't make it, but he was with the Trotters for almost 12 years. And, he has a lot of things that he has going on that's going to be very significant to what we're doing. So I'm all in with everyone. I am looking forward to working with you, and we can stick together and we can make this thing work.
Could you repeat your number one more time?
Yep, 216-269-7094.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Daryl.
Hey, I'll give you my email too. It's DERICKPOLK5151@gmail.com.
Perfect.
And really quick, Seven.
Yes.
Thank you again, and thank you for the support. Thank you for everything that you've done with us so far. As every
signal
and Hollywood Brown.
There we go.
The reason why Seven and Hollywood Brown and the other Harlem Globetrotters are supporting us is because we're going to have the Harlem Globetrotters against Snoop Dogg and the celebrities. Right now, we're working on a venue that's going to hold 200,000 people, so that we can make everyone aware that we're going to eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide. Veterans first. We're going to do it in 36 months, and we're very excited about it. So,
absolutely.
Seven, I know you have to go, but thank you again for showing up. And
my pleasure.
The technical difficulty.
Oh, that's okay, man. That's okay. At least we got something. I got to see some good faces and some good people, and that's a blessing.
Yes.
We'll get some product out to you too. We appreciate your time, okay?
You got it. Take care, everybody. Blessings.
Okay.
Blessings.
Yep.
Take care.
Yep.
Take care.
Yep. Bye-bye. Yep.
All right. So Chester, Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
I got to watch that cool video that Dr. E showed me, and you were smiling from ear to ear about that crypto. Why don't you tell us about that crypto real quick?
Crypto is it changed my life. It changed my life. And we had it's been about 5 years been involved with crypto, and we formed a real good, partnership with Dr. E. And, you know, it's a learned thing. You know, it's something that has helped my kids, got one of my kids in college right now, and get me to early retirement. So, you know, it's just like everyone else's initiative. Crypto, you know, if we're making money, we're making livings to change people's lives. You got to change your life first, then you help other people. And that's what it seems like. Everything that's what Daryl and I are doing with crypto and with the other things that we're doing, from the bottles to, you know, to champagne to the wireless. You know, it's about getting funds so that we can help other folks. Because the more people we bless, the more we'll be blessed. You know, and it's been good. It's been good. We just follow the instruction. We learn about what we have to. We do the transactions we have to. You know, it's a little winter for about past 10 months, but it's going to turn around and come back. So it's, you know, I'm looking forward to the future. Look forward to a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
And I learned that positive attitude in my life has got me where I'm at today by understanding that we're going to have some falls, but boy, it doesn't take us going homeless to get there, you know?
Yeah,
that's a fall we don't want to do. So I want to try to help us get out of the fall. And that's why I liked about Dr. E is bringing up the opportunity to save the homeless. You know, and every idea doesn't always go the best you want it to go. Let's be honest. But what will work if you put your mind, heart, and soul into it. Put God first, you can make it. And I think if we can do that right now, we can really help everybody get ahead in a better realm, you know? So. So not only that, you guys, we are also award-winning Cream, Arizona Cannabis Music Awards Festival, Best Topical Arizona, sent to Nova Scotia for all of our veterans out there as a battle bomb. Talking to Dr. Judy Mikovits about saving how many people we can do. She calls us the Miracle Cream. Everything I gave out started healing everybody as it does every time. I love you guys, man. Woo!
So I kind of want to tell the story with myself and Dr. Wilson. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Dr. Wilson and I got into the crypto world. I was the coach, and he was the money man. And the beauty of our relationship is it was very symbiotic, because he had experience in the world of stocks and bonds. Crypto was a perfect ingredient to complement his knowledge in the stock and bond market. We of course named him Pookie from New Jack City. That's his name because got a trigger finger for adding more revenue to his bottom line in the crypto world. At the end of the day, after 3 years, he made more than 600. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that people that start the eBay program, that they also take 10% to 20% of their profits and put it in the crypto, which I'm going to help them do. That way they have an opportunity to be able to not only understand the e-commerce world, but also the big homeless epidemic, Veterans First, in the next 36 months. And I see that we have with Millie Up. How are you doing today, sir?
Millie Up in the house.
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey,
You're
Dr.
fine?
Chester.
Yes.
Super proud of you, sir. You know what I mean? That's a lot of hard work you put in that office, right? So I just want to congratulate you. Take the hat off. I heard you saying all the good things you've done for your family. And when I talk to Dr. E, he understands family is a real big part of my infrastructure. So,
Amen.
Good job, man.
Carolina George.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about the music industry, and then tell us the future of your corporation.
All right. Well, I started in the music business maybe around 2010. So I'm a little over a decade now. And with that time, what I've done is I've created my own distribution, publishing, and record label outlets, as well as media outlets for publishing articles and updated community events, things like that. So the further I got into it, and of course, as a brand, I started to brand myself, and then I started to get more into branding and having custom apparel like what you see me wear here. The champagne that I got from Dr. E and the whole Pop Your Bottle tour movement. A bunch of good things happened, and it led me to even going as far as trying to end world hunger to a degree by creating my own stock market, which I have a version of it on milliup.com. I couldn't get the copyrighted not copyright, but the patent all the way through, but it's still in a pending state. So it's called, I call it the world business ranking system. And the way that it works, the way that it operates is everybody basically buys an ad link, and each ad link is higher than the previous ad link. And you own that ad link that you bought for that dollar amount for the entirety of everything that you are building. And then from there, payouts start to come and people get a percentage. And the way that I look at it is, if you bought in and you own a link on one of these digital real estate platforms that I got on milliup.com, then eventually what will happen is you'll end up getting a portion of the payouts. And the more money gets bought, the more advertising space gets bought, the higher the payouts are. Right now, I think the highest dollar amount is about 50 something bucks, right? But it's an unlimited dollar amount. So for instance, you cannot go below the least filled dollar amount. So if 1 through 10 is filled up, those 1 through 10 slots are always going to be the first slots that somebody sees, but they are no longer for sale unless that person sells them or rents them. It's almost like a game, right? But that's also the mindset of Millie Up. It's not to just get money, but it's to get money and give back, right? So that's where we are right now. Like I was mentioning earlier, we got music from Kenise Taylor out. I have music, of course, from myself out, but that's not what we're pushing right now. And we are looking forward to the next album that'll be coming out August of next year. And until then, we release a new music video on the 8th of every month. The end.
All right. All right. All right.
So listen, everyone. This is what we got. We got opportunities for everyone to take care of the voiceless, take care of the people that need us the most. Here's an opportunity for you to start your own home-based business. Get Amazon returns, $250 is all it takes to eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide, Veterans First. And we're going to do it in 36 months. So if you are an individual that loves people, an individual that wants to step up and make history, join our movement. Join us today and start your own eBay business so that we can eradicate this homeless epidemic nationwide, Veterans First. We have a very special guest. She is one of the most amazing persons I've ever met, and every time I talk to her, she gives me basketball-sized goosebumps. She brings a new world to the table. She brings new hope to the table. She's bringing a spirit of the Lord to the table. And Ariel, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming on to the show. And tell us a little bit about who you are, what your mission is, and how you're going to be eradicating the entire homeless epidemic.
Well, thank you for that introduction. It's far more than
Ariel, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was saying thank you for that introduction.
Yes.
However, the whole purpose is not about me or us. It's about the purpose of building and rebuilding the family through eradicating homelessness. And one of the things that we want to address is not just the physical.
Amen.
We have to deal with the physical. And I have my partner here that will give you the details on that. But I want to bring an emphasis to the holistic approach of healing the mind, the body, and the soul. We don't want to just continue to feed, but we want to teach the homeless how to fish so that they can feed not only themselves, but their families for generations.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I'm going to forego and let Mr. Johnny Paget begin to talk to you about what we're doing here in Dallas.
All right.
Good evening, gentlemen. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you. Can't
Yes,
see you. Slide in a little bit. Slide the camera. Get in the camera. There you go.
That's better?
Yep.
Perfect.
All righty. Perfect. Just kind of give you guys a little briefie, although this is a 30-year training program that God has incorporated into me over the past 30 years. And we are ready to go live with it with TV, radio broadcasting, in addition to raising unlimited funds to build a model here in Dallas first. And with that model, or someone's trying to say something? Yes.
No, go ahead.
You're okay, Johnny.
Go ahead.
Okay, with the model that we're trying to put together, that model will be able to go worldwide as we move forward. But the point at this time, we're trying to make sure that we set up a plan that the entire world can look at it and use that plan for every city state throughout the United States, even in Africa as well. The money to be able to put this program together is literally coming from the International World Trade Banks. That's the humanitarian money that's available for the entire world to build it out, even for Africa as well. We have unlimited resources, especially in Africa, because Africa got all the gold, diamond, silver, everything it takes to be monetized to go into an international trade program to raise billions and trillions of dollars for development. Africa already got it. Unfortunately, they don't have the mindset nor the experience to put all the pieces together. American blacks here in the United States, they've been a participant partner with me to work in Africa all at the same time. But before we go to Africa, we first want to make sure that the program works here in Dallas first, because all the green technology around the world has been given unto me. Whereas that we can set that piece up here in Dallas first, then move it in every city state throughout the United States and even in Africa in addition too. So just give you a little tidbit of some of the things that we have in place already. All the business plan and the science behind it is in terms of bringing the green technology to Dallas. We have a package in place, full business plan, how to take trash and turn it into diesel fuel, jet fuel, natural gas, building material, electricity, all kind of products that you make, concrete products, furniture, anything you can think of. That material can be made from trash that's coming out of landfill. We can take baby dapples, chicken bones, toxic waste, any other grass clipping, tires, plastic, paper, everything can be reused, be a reusable product from the landfill. So we actually going what they call zero waste land. No more trash will go in the landfill in the future, because those products are now can be reused for putting them back into the community. All organic green products. So I'll throw that a little bit to let you know we do have the means to end trash and create unlimited jobs. Even use a kid from the age of literally at the age of 2 years old, they can participate for cash for trash, because I set it up that way because kids out here are struggling trying to make ends meet just as well as the homeless and so on. So what our intent is that if we build a village, therefore the village can take care of the child, and the child can participate and keep their own environment, their own community clean, and allow us to go into the future with the green technology that's going to support the Black community for the rest of their entire life. So another program that they give me within another week or two, we can tap into the core of the earth, pulling out the hot water that's coming from the lava in the core of the earth, and heating up the water that'll make electricity that can power off entire city. Also, just the water from it. So all that technology and all the business plan and the structures and the science behind it, it's have been given unto me as well. So we have these pieces already in place. So when it comes down to the resources, technology, raising our own food, organic, hydroponic, aquaponic, those products is so awesome that if you eat the food that we raise, you can literally 90% of your body, it will literally heal you naturally just for the eating of the food. The other 10%, I have all the natural herb products also heal the human body as well. Without, even though we take it in as toxic food, pesticides, and eating it every day, that's causes us to become ill. My products are literally sustain your body in the meantime while we're getting ready to raise our own organic food, or you can be able to eat it. Then therefore you won't need no other supplement to help you to live to be 120 plus, because the food itself again will sustain your body for the rest of your life. So I throw that a little bit at you guys to let you know we can talk about programs and projects for the rest of our life, but without the money, it's just a good idea. So what we want to do, we want to end all the good ideas and create our own bank and our own funding to be able to start developing programs to end all this nonsense that's going on in our society. On the last note, I wanted to guys let you know also, styrofoam and concrete product, we can literally build an entire house within 30 days. It's fireproof hurricane tornado products. It's a building block about 4 feet long, 10 inches tall, 8 inches wide. Some of it about 6 inches wide, depending on the structure of the house or what we build at the time. We can build up to 6 to 7 stories high with this product. And we have the land from 100 acres plus to be able to build out our own little community cities, green sustainable cities that sustain the entire community within itself. We have that, all the pieces already in place. So just as a starting point, right now we're getting ready to raise $1 million to go in the trade program, which will yield $100 million within 10 months. It will pay out $10 million every 30 days once we go into getting an SBLC from the Wells Fargo Bank, was called a standby letter credit. That standby letter credit will literally go into a trade that we already have in place to raise unlimited funds with that first $100 million that we raised in 10 months, we would put that money right back into another trade and raise billions of dollars. And from that billion, we would raise trillions of dollars to rebuild out the entire community throughout the United States. So I want you guys to let you guys know, God has blessed us beyond comprehension. It's all about us now getting that seed money to initiate everything we need to do to move forward.
And I'd like to also interject that we're going to be using the veterans as our police officers and security. We have developed bullets that will not kill, but if they move, it will cause them to be shocked. So we're giving that to our police force, which would be the veterans. And we're saying to the other local police that if you come into our neighborhood and you kill someone, then you're automatically going to prison because you came with the intent, knowing that we have the capability to not take the life, but to immobilize a person who needs to be put under control. And at the same time, we have the technology and the patent that they wanted to buy, and so as to stop the production. And because we were not willing to sell, it's evident that we have drawn the line in the sand. And we are also backing a young man who is running for mayor, and his platform is the voice of the people. And he has experienced a lot of the issues of foster care, homelessness, abuse, and all types of things falling through the cracks. So he's completely motivated to make a change, and he's on board with us. So we want to just let it be known that we're reaching out to our community, starting with Martin Luther King Boulevard. And an interesting note we found out today that in Dallas, Texas, Martin Luther King Boulevard and Malcolm X Boulevard intersects together, and it's the only city in the country where that happens, which is definitely an omen to us here in Dallas. As well as you all know that this is where they killed the president in Dallas. So we have a lot of things that are speaking loudly to us. So we're dealing with government and policy and to implement change. At the same time, we want to heal the hurting, starting with the children, the homeless, and with an emphasis on the veterans because they've already paid the price. The veterans will have free housing. Our police department will have free housing because they've already paid the price. So we don't want them to have to go through anything. And so we're focusing on that and policy changes, as well as educating and informing the people financially and teaching them literacy, as well as teaching them constitutional law. At one point, we had a Saturday school where we taught the children constitutional law. And now it's been mandated that all of the attorneys, judges, and whoever have to be re-educated in constitutional law, knowing the difference between statutes, codes, and actual law. So we'll elaborate on that more, but just to give you an idea of some of the things that we're focusing on here. And we know that if we heal the family, starting with the men, then the women and the children will have hope and protection. So part of the things that we're doing is we're addressing child support issues. We're addressing what do you call probation and legal issues and things like that. So collectively, with all of the pieces that you all are bringing together, we are going to make Dallas a model for the whole world, because we're all invested in showing that we as the people who are called by our Creator. He said, if we humble ourselves and seek his face and turn from our wicked ways, then we hear from heaven and heal our land. Well, we are the land, so we have to heal ourselves. And one of my particular passions is to help the sisters recognize that they are the daughters, because without being preachy, the scriptures say that the Father has given the administration of the kingdom to the daughters of Zion. So we want to teach them their worth and value and help them to recognize that they are not the names that they have been called, and sometimes we call ourselves, but we are the daughters of Zion. We are queens and we are princesses, and you are our kings, and our babies are our prince. And the more we love on ourselves and each other, the more the world will begin to honor and respect who we are as a people.
Right.
Thank you very much. That was absolutely. Tell them a little bit about Harriet Tubman and a little bit about Black Wall Street.
Okay. Well, 2 years ago, actually 3.5 years ago, I relocated to Las Vegas because my mother was the great-great-granddaughter of Harriet Tubman. And we hail from Maryland, and my own children grew up in Harford County. And Harford County, you have Aberdeen Proving Ground, and then you have Harford County. And at the foot of Harford County, there's a bridge called the Haddam Toll Bridge. And that's where they would stand and post. The KKK would post and shoot the people down in the water, because if they got across the bridge, they were in Cecil County, which is the north. And that's where the head of the KKK headquarters were posted, there in Cecil County. And just like Moses, Daddy had us posted there. And my husband, who is now deceased, was a veteran, and he was a Marine veteran. And his skills were, amongst many, he was a master electrician. And so our doctors were KKK headquarters and grand wizards and those type of things. And they say we were a different kind of nigger. Okay. They recruited for the KKK in the middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools legally. It was where they actually had a day. And they saw us as a special kind of quote unquote nigger, because we didn't want to mix and mingle, and we were self-reliant, so we were special. So being as special as we were, my husband got selected to go to the Grand Wizard's home and rewire his whole house. And he also rewired and did the largest aquarium for Mark Lerner, who was a Baltimore Oriole. But with that, he had the opportunity to be on the inside and to hear and see. And being a descendant from Harriet Tubman, knowing the things that she did and how serious she was about the mission, the Creator positioned us to be able to see, to know, to hear, and to afford certain things that other people couldn't make happen, that they're still wondering how it happened. And in regard to Black Wall Street, my husband worked in the oil field in Oklahoma, and we had been opening up, starting Black Wall Street districts, and he supported that whole thing from his job. We didn't get any money from anyone. And we went all over the country. I say we because he supported it financially and spiritually. I set up Black Wall Street districts in Dallas, Texas, in Mississippi. I had the southern region at first. And because we had family members everywhere, I naturally reached out to the family member and began to set up and appoint directors and so forth in different states. And we went on a poverty tour as a result of what we learned in the oil field. A young man came from Texas, and he was Hispanic, and he had heard about my husband talking about Black Wall Street, and they were excavating in Tulsa to build the stadium. And he said that when they were excavating for the stadium, it was the mass grave of all of our ancestors when they massacred them, knowing that Tulsa, Oklahoma was the first city in the country bombed by the Air National Guard and killed thousands of our people. And simply because of the economics. At one point, $1 circulated in the community 100 times before it ever left. And we had our airports, hotels, we were completely self-sustaining. But we were on one side of the tracks. So we got our money on the Caucasian side of the track. And we spent our money on our side of the track, developing and building our own infrastructures, even to the point where there were certain people that were murdered because we were going to go on the gold standard then. And you can do the history and go all the way back to Lincoln and Gaddafi and Kennedy and all of that. So they excavated this space, and that was the mass grave of all of our ancestors. And they took the bones of our ancestors as souvenirs and took pictures and said that if anyone ever spoke of it, their entire families would be murdered. And so we decided that we were going to go to Tulsa and see. And so I have videos on YouTube and whatever where we actually interviewed the people. We interviewed some of the remaining ancestors that were still alive and got their stories. And there is a particular McDonald's in Tulsa where all of the melanated older brothers meet every morning and have coffee and talk. So we went there and we interviewed some of the brothers, and we got some awesome history. And then we went into the communities and began to interview people. And over 90% of the people, the melanated people that we interviewed, didn't know anything about what had happened. They knew nothing about the Tulsa massacre because it was illegal to discuss it. You couldn't discuss it in the schools. Now, let me tell you, when they massacred the people, this is for the veterans. We had brothers standing in their yards in full uniform saying, we fought for this country, and they shot them down like dogs in their uniforms. Okay. So I'm passionate about it. It's personal. And so I also went to the cultural center, and we took a bus tour from Dallas, Texas to commemorate the massacre. And we went to the church and we videotaped, and we did all of those things and had service and paid homage to the people that were slain. And unfortunately, the monies that were allocated for change for the people that were in charge at the moment chose to do something else. They were bought and sold. And so it never took off the way it should have taken off. And so when I began to go into the Greenwood, Archer, and Pine district, the GAP band, that's what GAP stands for, Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. And the song You Dropped a Bomb on Me was talking about the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing. So we saw the stadium and we saw the gentrification of Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. All of anything that would resemble Black Wall Street is completely gone. There's a wall, there's a church, and there's a cultural center. But it's still illegal, or shall I say, unlawful, according to them, but it's illegal to talk about the bombing. And I also just found out that a couple of months ago, two of the people, it was a husband and wife, were murdered in their home, who were freedom fighters. They were murdered, and no one is investigating. No one is looking into it because everyone is afraid. Well, unfortunately, there's a man, his name was Dr. Donald Evans, who was a freedom fighter. He transitioned in September. He was 96 years old. He traveled to the SHU back and forth in California to the prisons, and he rallied for the injustice and so on and so forth. Well, we videotaped him going there for the first time, and he was utterly in tears, could not believe what he saw. And so a part of his legacy was to do the Black family reunion. And so a part of my mission is to bring that back to the forefront. But in closing, I will say that he allowed the new Black Panther Party to meet at his home in Cedar Hill, Texas, where they strategized and they fellowshipped and dispersed all across the country. And fortunately for me, when I got to Las Vegas, they found me, and they are ready and willing to die for what we know the truth is. So we have to recognize that if you are not willing to lay down your life, then you're in the wrong battle. At the same time, we know that the battle is not ours. At the same time, we know that we are protected, but we must move stealth-like and with wisdom.
Amen. Amen.
So
Sounds
we
like a
went,
sniper.
and I'll conclude with the poverty tour. We went to Mississippi during the time when Freddie Gray was murdered in Baltimore. And he was murdered outside of my mom's house. And we interviewed police officers and chief of police in Mississippi. And I will see to it that you get that. But they talked about community policing. But we actually saw an old lady who was living in a shack, like something out of Django. And the most horrifying part was there was a plantation in Mississippi, fully operational, where they were having midnight runs. And if you think Dallas or Texas was late 2.5 years finding out that we were free, they still didn't know. They knew nothing about inside plumbing except for the master's house.
Wow.
They knew nothing about television, radio, and they were still doing midnight runs where they released the dogs while the quote unquote niggas ran for their life, and that was sport. Yeah. Yeah. And because we went there and made some noise, all of a sudden the plantation got sold and the people got dispersed somewhere, and only God knows where. So pardon my passion, if you will, and if you don't, okay. It is what it is. This is my life. This is my legacy. This is my family. And when I say my family, I'm talking about the body of Christ. We just happen to be those that have been chosen to serve. So I don't take it lightly. And I tell the young people, you have shoulders that you're standing on. So stand on those shoulders with integrity, with dignity, and make sure that your shoulders are strong enough so that your children can stand, so that we can create generational wealth, generational wholeness and healing. Because once they know that they are royal, they will no longer behave like heathens. Amen. So we're going to teach them by example to love on them in the midst of their mess. We're not going to try to change them. We're going to facilitate change, loving on them and teaching them how to love themselves. That means the drive-by shooters, the crack addict, the dope dealers, and all of that, because those are our babies. And it's our fault that they are where they are, because we as a generation, as a people, dropped the ball. We became independent and the women wanted to be liberated. How do you liberate someone who's never been in bondage? That wasn't us. So we're going to no longer accept the lie, but we're going to walk in the truth and hold ourselves accountable. Not blame anyone else, but we're going to fix us with the power of love, the power of the Holy Spirit, and the power of truth. I'm off my soapbox, babies.
That's all right. Hey, I lived in Baltimore, so I know what you're talking about. I lived in Baltimore, so I'm familiar with that history of Harford County and Cecil County. And
yes, absolutely.
and the dynamics of the African Americans in that area. There's a lot of history people don't know about. It was an African American man from I think it was Howard County that was actually instrumental in setting up the government of the United States. You know,
absolutely.
So, I mean, a lot of people. There's a lot of history down there, but yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
kudos. We're with you.
I'm born and raised in Wilmington, North Carolina, and my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, they were telling me stories about the Wilmington massacre since I was a baby. Right? Like, don't forget, this is where we come from. This is what we got to build back up.
That's right.
So everything that you just said definitely resonates.
And that's where there was a Black Wall Street in Wilmington. And if the truth be told, Wall Street sits on Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
If you do the research of the Black townships, Wall Street, when they get up underneath of those tunnels, the truth is coming out now. But Wall Street itself sits on our land, and it was based on Black Wall Street.
Yeah, there's a lot. Every city, even in Pittsburgh, you know, with Pittsburgh's history, where you're talking about the Pittsburgh Courier newspaper, which is one of the oldest published Black newspapers. But it goes back to what a lot of people, one of my mentors when I came up was a gentleman named K. Leroy Irvin. Okay. A lot of people don't know. K. Leroy Irvin was doing lunch counter sit-ins and all that stuff while Martin Luther King was still in school, still in college. K. Leroy Irvin was the first African-American man to become the Speaker of the House in the state of Pennsylvania, third most powerful position in the thing, and held it longer than any Speaker of the House till today. You know, so that was
and most of our people aren't aware.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Most of our people aren't aware that traditionally we were all Republicans.
Yes.
Traditionally, and held office in every state.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We're
naturally conservative as a group of people. Naturally conservative.
I'm aware of that too, and the story that I got about how we mostly transitioned from Republican to Democrat is through advertising. Advertisers for the Democratic parties started pitching to the Republicans things that would make them want to transition over to Democrats. Then they started throwing in the little trade secrets and things like that, and that's what mostly made a lot of Blacks go from Republican to Democrat.
African Americans don't get nothing for their votes from the Democrats. Nothing.
That's how we became political slaves. It's another area of slavery. Take the man out of the house, give the woman welfare, break up the family,
lock the man up.
Political slavery.
Mess up the children.
Yeah, mess up the schools, the education.
Of course.
Don't let them know.
Take away the Pledge of Allegiance.
Take prayer out. Take the authority to discipline and correct your children so that they can take control, because they were already in control. They tricked us with the birth certificate, so we don't have to go there.
Yeah.
They owned all of us, all of them.
One of my favorite
and when they
quotes from
found
Dr.
out
Martin
that it
Luther
wasn't just us, that's when the truth started coming out. It wasn't just us. Every birth certificate.
Hold on.
Hold up 1 sec. Go ahead.
One of my favorite quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King is, if you're not willing to die for what you believe in, you're not fit to live. And Ariel is a testament of that statement, of that quote. We have to stand up. It's we the people that should demand change. And we the people have to make sure that we understand, like Sun Tzu said, the art of war. If your enemy is superior, evade them. If angry, irritate them. Equally match, you fight. So this is a master game of chess that we're
Yes.
all playing. And we have to be, number one, a master listener of God's word, because he's the master chess player. So as long as we have God, no one will stand against us. But the most important thing I think we have to go and reform is the way the church does business, the way the church um, teaches financial literacy. They need to teach individuals how to fish instead of keep giving them a fish. I personally believe that a church, which is a business, should start acting like a business. They need to bring in real money. We're talking Google money. We're talking Amazon money. We're talking Warren Buffett money. And instead of the church giving the pastors and the elders tithing, if they act like a business, then the church should give dividends to the shareholder, which would be the members of the church. If the church started their own cell phone company, if the church started their own private label water company, private label coffee company, had their own eBay account, had their own Amazon account, and start acting like a business, no different than Goodwill that does $20 billion a year, their online presence, and also they have a brick and mortar store that they created to take the donations that the church gives them and turn it into profits. We, the people, have to demand change, and it's got to start here. Some of these examples that you can get from us would be various items that are returned from Amazon. There's an $800 billion per year return problem. We get a 95% discount on an $800 billion per year return problem, which we can take that problem and turn it into profits. That's a gift. That's a gift to us that will allow us to eradicate the entire homeless epidemic nationwide, veterans first. We just have to mobilize, we have to keep God first, and we have to come up with a strategy that makes sense in the short term. It really is, at the end of the day, a war declared on God's people. And at war, we cannot bring a knife to a gunfight. We have to fight tooth and nail, eye to eye, and know at the end of the day, like Sun Tzu says, the battle is won before it's fought. So, with what we have in this particular unity of people, we can really make a difference, really win this war, and make sure that the underserved, make sure that the victims of circumstances, make sure that the people that don't have a voice will have a roof over their head, food in their belly, gas in their car, and healthy.
If you're not healthy, you can't heal. You can't do nothing.
You can't. Mm-mm.
Right.
That's right. So we talk about that every time. So that's where I kind of come in, where we have a product that is healing people one by one. We came up with that solution a long time ago, in 7 years of working with CBD and Copper One. And when you have such a beautiful product to heal within your family, whole family health, your family first, well, then all of a sudden you see one person heal, the next person. If you can heal one person in your family, what do you get? Less pain, less suffering, less aggravation, anxiety, and stress. You can start focusing on the next person or go to the next family and help them heal. And then you can start building up your internal self. It's so hard when you're hurting and in pain or chronic pain. And that's what I deal with. I manage chronic pain. So, and other things. So,
Mr. Jarrett, we want to hear more. You have something very powerful. We came back from Vegas, and you should see these middle-aged men, right?
63, 50, 55, 63, 70.
these middle-aged men, of course, they started to, age, and things stop working the way they're supposed to work, because they don't have the information that Jeffro's Botanical has. They don't have the secret recipe. They don't have a item that will heal them within literally several minutes of it getting to their body. So I want Mr. Jarrett to expand on our trip to Las Vegas. We just got back, and that some of the people that he met with, and the results of these people using his cream.
Well, we went there and we went to a really nice golf course where pro golfers go and do skins games, I guess. And we got to go with Freeway Skinny Slim, or Shitty Slim. Freeway Shitty Slim is Freeway Rick Ross's brains, Norman Tillman. And so we went with him, met with him at the golf place, and he had already been taking my capsules, BioCopper 1 capsules, and he'd already been taking my cream that he put on when he was limping when he walked in my house. Within 5 minutes of walking in my house, he was doing jumping jacks at 63 with sciatica arthritis on his hips. So then we meet him the next day. When we followed him to Vegas the next day, he had golfed a 75. He had been walking on a walker up to the greens every single time for all these years. And for the first time, the first 12 holes, he didn't use the walker. He used the walker on the 13th hole to the 18th hole. And he was so excited when he got in there and I came in, he started running around the tables in front of everybody, which is all pro golfers, pro football players from the Raiders. I got to meet Big Ron, James Harris, and some amazing people. Today, we got to meet Mito Synergy's partner, where I get my copper from. And look at the color and what happens in my product, you guys. It's the only product in the world that's made on the very first CBD copper 1 in the world. And that's called honeycombing, you guys. That means it's very, very, very organic. It's so beautiful. And there's a process to make this. The smell, the love. What I've done here has taken about 5 years to get this to perfection. And now I've got full endorsement from the original copper 1, which is called Cumarus musper. It's copper, niacin, and spironese, right? And so I got to meet the owners, talk with them today, and they endorsed me, and we're going to change labels, and it's really beautiful. So today was spectacular. What we did for those gentlemen out there, we got to get with Woo at that same golf resort, which is Taylor McCaffrey's caddy, number 11 in the FedEx PGA standings. And he said that we had an amazing product, and he's going to be offering it to that gentleman in the pro golfing section. So whether it's tennis, golf, it doesn't really matter anymore. Whether you have fibromyalgia, whether you have alopecia, we're going an inch of hair a day right now. We're doing things that we've never thought we could do in the world. I've made something very unique. I was told it was a gift to me to change the world from Charlie Barker. He said, you're the key to the world, when he met me after I was telling a lady on a bus that she could have a better mother's milk if she used copper or CBD at the time. And I didn't know Charlie was sitting next to me on the bus telling a lady about endocannabinoid systems. And it ended up changing my life by Charlie coming to see me and saying, I need to meet you one day. And 2 weeks later, he came to my house with a kilo of copper 1, and he changed my world. It's taken me 5 years to perfect it. So if you want to talk about healing, let me know what you have and watch what I do to change it, because it's been one of the most amazing changes I've ever felt with people when I get to touch people and heal them and feel so blessed and know that God's got my back now. And I never knew how strong he was until about 7 weeks ago when I got with you and I was in the prayer meeting and I found God. And for me to have that and be pivotal for my life is because there's nothing you can't do with God in your heart and your mind and your soul. And right here we are right now together as one, trying to make a difference for all of us. And all of us need to work together. I work with some of the biggest companies in the world. I heard the gentleman, Johnny, talk about different modular changes in life, what you're doing around the world, sir. I'm working with Bright Star Scientific right now. With we take wood and I told them, why are you using wood to convert to fuel? You're helping the tree guys, man, cut down our trees and remove our oxygen. I said, why don't you use hemp and marijuana plants that are getting taken down, and we have extra stalks. We could take the stalks, break the stalks down, dry them properly, put them through the machine, $47,000 machine to produce crude to get green fuel. So we do 5-10% green fuel right now through Bright Star Scientific. We have commercial contracts right now. We're also getting ready to go to the ocean, and we're taking the ocean product, and we're making a difference in the ocean by taking that plastic and making that back into fuel. These are being made right now by a gentleman that I've got to work with for the last 5 years and participating in global change. The copper I have right now, we're getting ready to take to Zambia. We're also doing a major move in Zambia with hemp and hemp production, manufacturing, and marijuana manufacturing with the king. Through Daryl, myself, and some others we're working with. Warith. Warith was on this podcast a little bit ago. Thank you to Peace Talk and iHipHopTV. And he has a book called Darkness is God. And he is actually going to take me to Ghana to go meet the people that I use their shea butter for in my product. We use Ghana shea butter. And I've been blessed for that because I get to heal a village. And I'm from Flint. So I'm the crazy white guy from Flint that went from the white neighborhood to a black neighborhood and said, holy crap, what am I going to do here? And then I was in Flint and on Fleming Road and Kyle Road and right by Extension. And I decided that I'm going to jump in, and I started delivering a newspaper for the Flint Journal. And I got to go make friends and go meet, one enemy was about, he seemed like a monster, like the biggest guy in the world, but he was like the biggest black guy I ever met as a kid. And he would chase me with nunchucks when I had my newspaper route, and I'd run from him, and he never caught me. Thank God, he would have killed me. But I made it. I'm here. Look, I'm also a Somali vet from the Marine Corps. I was the first guy to walk on land September 9th of 1992 off of the USS Tripoli. My lieutenant right now is a colonel. He retired and wrote a book about me called When the Tempests Gather, about our whole unit, about 2-9, about ISIS, Operation Restore Hope Somalia, and Afghanistan. And now he's over in Ukraine teaching them guys the same thing he taught me in 91 to 95. Also went to the Air Force Reserves as a generator tech. So my mind is going to heal. Midos Energy just backed me up today. I can't believe all this stuff that's happened. There's more story to it that would really sadden you, but also God works in mysterious ways, you guys. So as a team, I implore us all to come together as one. We are united as one. I can't take back what my generations have done, but I sure the hell can make a difference because I'm African, and I'm trying to make a difference. That's what Daryl gives me my name, African. So
you're a son of the Most High.
So much.
You're a son of the Most High.
Son of the Most High, exactly.
Yes. I'm blessed and highly favored. My CFO passed away a few years ago, the day before Super Bowl. Al Harris, he was in black fraternity at ASU. He taught me cultural diversity. It was the most prime thing I needed to learn, and that love through all can find and conquer the world with God in your heart. And God bless his soul and rest in peace. I want to say thank you to you guys today for being on our show with Peace Doc. Peace Doc, you are a blessing for us. You know we love you. Your creams. Did you get your creams yet?
Not yet.
You
Not
rascal.
yet. Not yet.
I got creams I send out for free to everybody. The little 10 mLs, I send like 4 at a time to everyone around the world because everyone needs to have it. So I don't waste money, you guys. Mm-hmm. I spend my money hard earned to pass out what I was given a gift. All right. I was given a gift. So now, yes, people buy my stuff, okay? But I gave $3,000 away of this product. That's like that's a lot of these at one event. We gave out in Las Vegas at the MJ BizCon. We were the guest of honor for VeteransForHealing.org, which is my company, nonprofit. VeteransForHealing.org is part of VeteransForHealingGlobal.ca out of Canada. I sent them my Battle Bomb, the same exact cream, but it's called Battle Bomb, right? And they freaking love it. It's like it's like, come on, guys. I can heal you today. Give me a hoot. don't pollute, and I'm going to take care of you for sure. So it's all about us healing you first. It's showing you guys how to do eBay. It's showing you how to get a crypto account. We're showing you how to get a phone service by your own self, $15,000 to $50,000. If you go get a Cricket account, go look up online how much it costs you to get your own store Cricket today. Okay, you come to us as our team here today. We're going to show you guys a bonus. We're going to give you guys a little love. We're going to throw in some copper CBD because this also takes away interference from the cell phone in your ear. So how about all that stuff, you guys? All that radiation we put around our ear, you put this around your ear, what do you get? Gone. What happens with your face? I'm doing anti-aging right now. I'm doing so many things that's blowing me away that you guys, Mito Synergy is going to pick us up and take us to the moon because they saw what we're doing for their own company with their own products too. So again, Daryl, if you want to close out and peace talk, thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate your time tonight. We are here to rock the world and show them grace, show them God is present, and we're not going to take your bullshit who's trying to screw with us. We deserve better, and we are better than this.
Amen. And as we know,
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, baby.
That's right.
Already.
Team stands for together, everyone accomplishes more. And as a team, that's what we're going to do. Mr. Milliup, Carolina George, he is one of the most amazing African-American entrepreneurs on this planet. I call him the African-American Steve Jobs on steroids. Him and I have been doing business now for almost a decade. And I know that he is going to take his product, his brand, Milliup. He's going to change lives. He's going to change the world because without music, without the healing of music,
432 hertz, buddy.
Without that spiritual part of life, we will not exist. So his music, his brand, he's a serial entrepreneur that I thank the Lord that he allowed us and our paths to cross. So thank you very much, Mr. Milliup, Carolina George, for all you do for African Americans.
Dr. Chester.
Dr. Chester, absolutely amazing. We have a multi-trillion-dollar operation. We have a multi-trillion-dollar movement. All of us collectively, there's absolutely no reason why we cannot eradicate the homeless epidemic nationwide. Veterans first in the next 36 months.
We just set up an office with a cell phone company and an eBay account in Las Vegas. Amador Medical LLC with Glenn and his brother Donald and Bill. We want to thank you and Mike for having us out there and giving us your time. You guys are going to see the impact that we're going to show your company. And we appreciate you guys looking at our product. We're getting ready to get in the HIPAA to get Medicaid and Medicare with this, guys. There's things changing in a world, all right, around here. If you just give yourself a little faith and believe in yourself, believe in God first, okay? And put yourself in belief and love for yourself because it's so important to love yourself, okay? You can't love someone else. You can't love yourself. Come on now.
Yes. And another thing I wanted to add, we need 40,000 people, 40 to 50,000 people to start their own cell phone company, to start their own eBay learning center. We're going to be the largest home-based business in the world, but we need 40 to 50,000 people
Black-owned cell phone
make
companies.
This happen. The price starts at $250 for the starter package. The next package is $500, $1,000, $5,000, and the VIP bonus package is $7,000, which is going to get you some Amazon product, and also you're going to be able to start your own private label, white label brand of Jefro's Botanicals, which is going to create healing for the world.
Unreal. No one makes on the first CBD Copper One, which is, let me say Copper One real quick, just to give you a heads up. It gives you one available positive electron in your body and it'll remove all your spirochetes from your body. Imagine all the spirochetes out of your blood, out of your blood cells. All your blood cells start activating and all your white blood cells start healing you. I'm watching responses and healing so fast now that it's unbelievable. And the more I do, the more I keep R&D on this, the more I can heal people. So let's help us out so we can help you out. This is a team effort, you guys. It takes heart, takes passion, and it takes team up to dream up, and that's the only way we roll. So let's rock on with this. You guys all rock. I appreciate you, P Stock, iHipHopTV in the
I hip
house.
hop.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
Sultan, the Sultan. Thank you to Bobby Owens. Thank you to Jerry Bell. You guys rock with your album out. We love you guys so much. We appreciate you. Any last words, man? It looks like you want to say something.
Ariel, give it a whirl. We want Goodyear blimp goosebumps, baby girl.
What do you got to say real quick? Close us out.
Well, let's just say this, that since we've come together, there ain't no stopping us now.
I remember that song. I love that song. Well, we want everyone to start thinking about Dallas. We want to mobilize to Dallas. Dallas is going to be the epicenter of the world. So they're making it the prototype that the world is going to mimic. So if anyone needs to get involved, want to get involved, give us a call. Contact us. You guys have the information on iHipHopTV. Contact P Stock and let them know that you want to get involved in this movement because it's so important.
Movement. Look, we have different movement. You got Millie up. You got her down here ready to kick it. We're all a team. So let's go and let's drive it in. P Stock, drive us home, baby.
Let's go.
Well,
let's go. Let's go.
Before you do, I wanted to say that, Doc, you have all of the contacts that I have. And we have more, and every resource that I personally have, each and every one of you have access to, just for the asking.
Thank you so much for that.
Just for the asking.
I'm going to say
all over. And absolutely, you have it. We're family. I love everything that you're doing. And brother, I'm a music person, so we won't get into that now. So music and that frequency changes everything.
Yes.
So I am definitely looking forward to connecting with you with the music and to share whatever we can to make sure the world knows who we are.
I'm definitely going to get everybody's information from Dr. E, and whatever anybody has going on. We'll talk about the show itself. We'll talk about all of the foundational pieces that the show talked about tonight, and even some future possibilities with just sponsoring what people have that they want to talk about. So I'm definitely looking forward to linking up with everybody and having them be able to speak their piece about their platforms on my platform. So I can bring that information to the crowd that I have already available and the crowd that I'm attempting to bring in. So I look forward to that. I'll definitely be getting that information from Dr. E and whoever else that I can.
And we have a phenomenal host. You have been awesome.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
completely awesome.
Yeah, hey, that's what we do, and we doing it. Like I said, we're gonna link it all up. You can hit us up on iHipHopTV.com. We get ready to relaunch on Roku, the Roku channel coming by the beginning of the year, end of this month, and we'll be back kicking it with iFreedom TV, and it's making it happen. So we're in the house.
Awesome.
We're a full-fledged media company that does a little bit of everything. You can also catch us on Address the Culture. Me and Big Wall, last night I did a killer interview with Stephen Barnes. It's great, so everything is popping. Let's go.
We love it. That sounds awesome, P Stock.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for your platform. Thank you for everybody today. We love you guys. We're going to let everyone get off the air here.
I love you all.
We have a special guest, Tammy Bledsoe, that we're going to bring on first. And I can't name the other guests. We're just going to surprise you guys because it's going to blow your mind.
gave us a contact to be able to call them, and they will go pick anybody up off the street that's a veteran and take them and get them help right then and there, and they will no longer be in the streets. For the Veterans Affairs, it takes them 3 months at least to put their paperwork through to get them off the streets.
Let's introduce them right now, please.
Everyone, it's an honor, it's a pleasure to introduce Unc.
Okay, well, just a little history. The Freeway Boys Foundation, and as you know, that's a reference to the infamousness that is the Freeway organization. A bunch of guys back in the 80s, the most recognizable of whom is Freeway Rick Ross. Rick and I, while he was incarcerated, he had a life sentence, a federal life sentence, and we were talking about how to give back for so much that we had taken away. Then I told him to start a nonprofit organization. We'll call it the Freeway Boys Foundation for health and wellness, community economic development, and social change. It's an organization that's trying to eradicate those things I just talked about. I'm all in, man. Holla at Unc.
I know in my heart we're going to solve one of the biggest problems on the planet, eradicating the homeless problem nationwide. We have to take care of our veterans first. The goal behind what I'm about to present to you is we're gonna do $1 billion in sales per year. And Amazon has a $500 billion a year return problem. We're gonna turn that problem into profits. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our home as a fulfillment center. Regular kitchen, oh my God, kitchen has a lot of space, right?
Right.
You're gonna see Amazon return product. We're getting about 500 to 1,000% on our dollar. That's Amazon's problem. Right here, this is also my returns department. And take a look. So we don't have to get offices. We don't have to get warehouses. We don't have to get forklifts. We just utilize what we have in order to produce something that's never been done before. Eradicating the entire homeless problem in the U.S. We're going to take care of our veterans first. We have to do this for our veterans. We have to do this for God's children that need our voice. They need, they're praying intensively right now that we come through for them. We are going to start training individuals to take this problem and turn it into profit. I've been doing this since 1996. I know in my heart that we're going to solve one of the biggest problems on the planet, which is eradicating the homeless problem nationwide. We have to take care of our veterans first.